What's up guys, CBK here bringing you another Marvel Spider-Man 2 theory video. If you're new to the channel, I pretty much only talk about Marvel Spider-Man here, so if you enjoyed today's video then be sure to subscribe to keep up with all of the Marvel Spider-Man 2 hype. Also, I want you to drop your best theory for how Peter gets the symbiote in this game. I'm going to pick the most creative subscriber for a giveaway, so leave that down in the comments section down below. With that being said, let's go ahead and swing on into today's video. So today I wanted to spend a little bit of time theorizing on how Peter could potentially get the symbiote or the black suit in Marvel Spider-Man 2. I think that there is no doubt that Peter will don the black symbiote suit at some point in time during this game. The question is when and how does he get it from being on Harry, as we saw in the post-credit scene for both Spider-Man PS4 and Spider-Man Miles Morales. So here's my theory, or perhaps just the way I would like to see it happen. To start with, the last we've seen of Harry was in the Miles Morales post-credit scene where he is still in the green goo tank with the symbiote clearly visible on him. Norman and Kurt Connors have a disagreement or a little fight. Norman wants Kurt to get his son out of the tank and says that he's been in there for long enough, and Kurt believes that it's a little too soon and they don't know the dangers of releasing him and how it could affect his disease. It appears from this point on that Harry is going to be released. From here I want to point out an idea that Evan Falarka had in a live stream that we were a part of. His idea was to have the game start off with you playing as Harry as soon as he comes out of the tank. It could even be done from a first-person perspective, where Harry hasn't gained control of his senses just yet, and he's walking around maybe through a hallway with this symbiote all over him. I don't know. I just thought it was a cool idea that Evan had, and I would love to see it for the start of the game. Once Harry comes back to his senses, he obviously would feel a lot better than he did before he even had his disease. Once he does get adjusted, I would think that Harry would like to hang out with his best friend Peter and catch up. This is where Peter and Harry's story would begin. I could imagine a scenario where Peter comes over and the symbiote can sense that Peter would be a stronger host. I feel like the symbiote would prefer a stronger host than the body of Harry, which is crippled by this disease. The symbiote would become obsessed with finding Peter and eventually leaves Harry to bond to Peter. And this, my friends, is where the Spider-Man symbiote storyline takes off. This would lead us into everyone's theory of Norman Osborn hiring Kraven and his team of mercenaries to retrieve the symbiote and potentially kill Spider-Man. Alright, so I'm going to skip past all of the stuff about Peter going all dark and whatnot when he has the symbiote. We already know that that's going to happen. After Peter does get rid of the symbiote suit, because I'm sure eventually he's going to want to take it off after he realizes what the symbiote has done to him and how it has affected his mind. I feel like after that this could go one of two ways. The symbiote could simply make its way back to Harry again, or Eddie Brock. And I just have to say that I'm a big fan of Eddie Brock as Venom, so I would prefer it if that happened. It would make a lot of sense considering the dialogue that we got in the trailer for the game. When Kraven says, "Will one of you give me what I desire?" I'm kind of paraphrasing, I'm not sure if that's exactly what he says. Venom then says, "Yes, we will." So if Harry already had the symbiote back, then why would he need Kraven to hunt the symbiote down? Unless the symbiote is now on somebody else, aka Eddie Brock. I don't know. It's really tough to read into this too much because trailers have a habit of taking things out of context and making you believe something that really isn't there. My hope is that Eddie Brock does retain the symbiote for the remainder of the story and we get some sort of epic three-way battle between Spider-Man, Eddie Brock's Venom, and Kraven, and of course you probably have to throw Miles in there as well. But yeah, that's sort of my theory on how Peter really gets the symbiote and how I'd like to see it go down. I thought I'd also mention a popular theory that's kind of made its way around the internet lately, and I've been seeing it in Reddit threads and just comment sections lately, and that is that Peter gets Harry to transfer over the symbiote to him because Kraven is hunting down Venom, which Harry, of course, technically is Venom, and Peter wants to protect Harry from getting hurt. I'm not so sure about that. I've been seeing this theory quite often, and I'm not sure if it really makes a ton of sense, because wouldn't Peter taking the symbiote from Harry kind of leave Harry vulnerable to his disease, unless the symbiote has just cured him altogether? I've seen that theory just floating around so often, and I'd love to know what you guys think about that one. I'm not really for it, but I'd love to know your opinion on it. But guys, that's going to conclude this video. I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully we are inching our way closer to a new trailer or gameplay soon. That way we have some more content to cover here on the channel. But that's going to be it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll talk to you later.